much to look at new technologies and, for example, wearables, Apple Watch, trip case for Apple Watch, if you haven't seen it. My job is pretty much about looking at this new technology, experiment with it, and then think about how can we take this technology and bring it back into travel and create sensible services and applications. And what I'm going to show you tonight is a proof of concept. We've been looking very much at geolocation services, that is knowing exactly where the travelers are at any given point in time. By doing so, you can also then send relevant messages to the passenger if you know where they are, and you can adjust the messages to be around the place that they are. So, like the first example I want to show you is thinking about, I am in my transfer to the airport, and either the airport or the airline, they know that the queue through security is really long. So what if they could send me an alert to say the queue through security is really long? Would you like to buy an upgrade, a fast track pass? You have 1 minute to comply. Yes, I will. And this is thinking about how can we enable travel suppliers to sell ancillary services. As you might know, ancillary services revenue today has doubled over the past 4 years, because airlines don't necessarily make money out of seats, but they do make money out of selling ancillary services. So this is an attempt to help our travel supplier customers, but also bringing additional value and options for the travelers. So the second scenario is, think about if you're sitting on a long-haul flight and the passenger in front of you have tilted their seat, you're in coach, you have screaming children all around you, and you know you're going to be there for 10 hours. Now, in many cases, there are seats available in economy extra or in business class or even first class. What if the cabin crew could push a message to selected passengers and say, are you comfortably seated where you are, or would you like to upgrade? Nothing about rewriting tickets, but right there and then. You know, normally when I check in, I get an offer sometimes to say, you can pay £400 or £500 for an upgrade from coach to economy plus. But when I'm at home in my pajamas the night before, I feel like £500, that's a lot of money. I'm not going to pay that. But when you're in the plane, you're at the peak of your pain. You know you're going to be stuck there for 10 hours. Wouldn't you also pay £500 just like that? Yeah? And while we are communicating with the traveler already, we can also ask him or her some other stuff. So, beef or chicken? I'm going to take beef. So the third scenario is, whenever I come back to London Heathrow, I usually have a car, a transfer, that will pick me up. And you know, what is the first thing the transfer company is asking you when you try to order a transfer? It's the flight number, right? So I would then assume that they would keep track of my flight and send the driver when my flight has landed, and he would be there just in time. But when I get the bill, almost every single time there is a £5 or £10 waiting charge. So why did I give him the flight number then? So this is just to say, well, I'm through customs, so I will be out in 10 to 15 minutes. So yes, I'm going to confirm the transfer. Okay, moving forward. The fourth scenario. So last year I traveled to Istanbul about 10 times, back and forth from London. Always took the same flight, landed 20 minutes to midnight, stayed at the same hotel, and that hotel, the room service closes at midnight. It had always been a long day, flying coach, no food. So I was like, if the hotel knows I'm on my way, they know that they're going to close room service in about 20 minutes or 30 minutes. What if they sent me a notification to say, you know, we know you had a long day, possibly a long flight. Would you like to order room service? And I would always go for that, because then I would know that whenever I came to my room, the food and drink would be there. And again, enabling the hotel to sell ancillary services to me even before I'm even a customer, even before I'm staying at the hotel. And at the same time, providing really, really good service to me as a traveler. So this is kind of funny. This is one of my favorites. 2 weeks ago, I went to Dubai for the Arabian travel market. And my colleague, Naveen, she did the classic rookie mistake. You know, in the hotels, when you have do not disturb signs, that is activated by a button and not the one that you hang on the door. It's so easy to forget that, and she did. So when we come back in the evening, she said, "Oh man, they didn't clean my room." And I said, "Well, you told them not to enter your room." But if the hotel knows that you have left your room and that button is still on, they can just send you a short, simple message saying, "Is this a good time to clean your room?" Again, providing really, really good service to the customer. And this could be applied in other instances. If they detect that you're at the pool, can we supply you with an extra towel? Would you like to order a drink? Final scenario, imagine you just woke up in the morning, hotel sends you simple question, how did you sleep last night, good or bad? Well, you know, I had a long day the night before, a bit of a late night, so I was tossing and turning. All right, well, if you come to our restaurant, we will give you the premium breakfast package. So normally I wouldn't necessarily eat breakfast in the hotel, but if I felt really seen and they gave me a good offer, chances are that I would actually go to the hotel restaurant and have breakfast. So enabling the travel suppliers to sell ancillary services, and at the same time bringing additional value or extra value or the option of extra value to the customers. I mean, at Sabre, we have sort of a mantra trying to think about travel in some ways can be very painful, whether that is canceled flights or delayed flights. And how can we, as a tech company in the travel space, take some of that pain out of travel and create a better traveler experience? Thank you very much. Very good timing.
Merci Joakim. Merci.